Hi everyone, this is Amy and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making Singapore noodles. For this dish we need 14 ounces of dried rice vermicelli noodles, and we're just going to rehydrate this. So into a large bowl it goes, and we're going to cover this with enough hot water, just thoroughly submerge the noodles. I did add more, and we're set that aside for 30 minutes. We also need a pound of clean deveined shrimp. I prefer the head on shell on because I use that for stock, but use the bag one if that's what you have. Next, we're going to slice up one small onion. We're going to mince up a 2-inch piece of ginger, as well as 4 cloves of garlic, just giving that a little choppy chop. Next, we're going to cut 2 carrots, just on the bias because it looks prettier. Slice up 1 bell pepper. Use whatever color bell pepper you have on hand. We also need about a cup of shredded napa cabbage. You can also just use regular cabbage if that's what you have, but I like napa cabbage because it's just a tiny bit softer. We're also going to cut up 2 scallions, both the white and the green parts. Now this does call for pork. Unless you want to keep pescatarian, don't use pork. And it usually calls for char siu pork. I didn't have any, but I did have these Chinese sausages. Not the dried ones, they're more like little breakfast sausages, but they don't taste like breakfast sausages. We're also going to slice this on the bias as well. These are a little sweet, a little porky, and really quite delicious. Now that our noodles have softened up, we can give those a little drain. And now we're just going to give it a little haircut. These are very long, so just go in with a clean pair of kitchen shears and cut these into smaller noodles, just in half. It'll just make it easier to eat when you go to serve this down the line. Just going through and giving a little chop. For the sauce, we need 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of curry powder. This gives it that distinct color and flavor that we're all used to. Teaspoon of sesame oil, teaspoon sugar, teaspoon salt, and half teaspoon of freshly ground white pepper. Give that a really good mix and set that aside. Last but not least, we need to crack 3 eggs. And these are pretty large eggs. If you have smaller ones, you use 4. If you get any shell in your eggs, like I just did, not just the big one, the low one, use the shell to scoop it out. It's the fastest way I found to pull out an eggshell. We're going to beat these up a little bit. Now we're ready to cook. Over medium-high heat, we're going to add a tablespoon of neutral oil to a large saute pan or wok, and we're going to cook our eggs first. And we only want to cook these until they're just set. They're going to go back in later, so we don't want to overcook them. So once they're set, pull them out, set them aside. In that same pot, we're going to add another half tablespoon of neutral oil, and we're going to add in our garlic, onion, and ginger. We're going to saute that until you just start to smell the garlic and ginger, so about 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, add in the shrimp and the sausage if you're using it. Toss that around, add more oil as you need. You'll notice it feels dry. Just add a little bit more oil. Let that cook for a minute before adding in the carrots. Stir frying that for an additional minute. Next, go in the noodles and the sauce. And we're going to give this a really good toss, and we're going to continue to cook this until the shrimp is cooked all the way through. Once it has, we can add in bell peppers and the cabbage, tossing more just to get that sauce integrated throughout. Next goes in the scallions, as well as the egg gets popped right back in there. Give that a mix till everything is heated through, and now we're ready to plate, and this is looking stunning. This is a dish I always order when I go to a restaurant, but it's so easy to make at home. The curry, you can really taste the curry in this, but not in an overwhelming way. The noodles are still al dente. The shrimp is perfectly cooked. There's so much flavor in here. You taste the savoriness, you taste that slight sweetness from the oyster sauce and the sugar, and this is so wonderful, so delicious, and so easy to make at home. But there it is, Singapore noodles. I hope you'll try to make this in your home. Thank you so much for spending time with me again today. I appreciate every single solitary one of you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you haven't already, because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you so much again, and until next time, happy cooking.